Hey everyone, welcome back to Painted. I am, as ever, your host, Maury Curtis Dunbar, owner and creative director of Painted Studio. We have started a slow reopening here in Chicago. Unfortunately, the death of George Floyd has created a lot of drama around the world, and this is not what today is about. I'm just saying that we've had some moments here this week. We've had a lot of riots, a lot of protests that have been wonderful, a lot of not so wonderful things. So today we're just going to do pretty and happy. I'm here to create beautiful things and help you all have a good day. That's what today is. We can put the politics aside for a day. So today we are working on painting with foils on the mural scale. You saw before I had done little teeny ones with little multi-layered stencils, and that's great on small things, but now you need to learn to translate it into bigger. You can do this on furniture, you can do it on walls, floors, ceilings, any surface. So to do this, we're going to use a multi-layered stencil. We're going to use an allium, which is a bulb flower that I planted in my garden. I happen to have a stencil of it that I bought years ago. But when you do a multi-layered stencil, normally when you do a stencil, you put the back layers and you're building colors forward because you're applying paint over paint over paint. Hey, Maddie. But when you're doing stencils and adhesives, you're going to work from the front back because every time you block out a spot with the foils, you've placed something there so that the foil won't stick, the next layer of foil won't stick. So if you want the little tiny details that are at the top, you have to put them in first. Otherwise, there won't be any adhesive for it to work with. And this is because we're going to do this on one surface with one even coat of foil adhesive over the entire thing. We're not going to foil adhesive in between sections because we don't have to. So we're going to start with the allium stencil. And for those who don't know what an allium looks like, you're just going to have to wait until we get to the end. All right, so this is what would normally, you look here, it says the number's 3, and I know I'm reversing it. I know, aren't alliums beautiful, Susan? Hi, Melissa. Hi, Maddie. So this is number 3. So obviously I have it flipped the wrong way so that you all can read the 3. But what I'm going to do is put it up here, and it's the first layer that goes on. Now these are going to be the high brilliant points of the allium, so I am going to take our lightest foil and we're going to use, hey Manetta, we're going to use our Flower Power stencil, Flower Power foil. And maybe things will work right today because I managed to put everything on the left side, except of course my scissors. They were over there. You'd think I would have remembered the scissors. And if I'm kind of schlumping along a little funny today, I slept in a weird position, so I'm a little gimpy today. All right, so I've got my stencil on here, and like I said, we put a smooth, even coat of Artsyville foil adhesive. Where's my can so you can see what I used. There it is. Artsyville foil adhesive was rolled over the entire surface. We have black set coat from Faux Effects as the color under that. I tend to prefer darker colors with my foils simply because they pop better. All right, so I'm going to scrub this a little bit. And if you saw me doing the last paint with the stencils, you know that I have to kind of go in and feel for all the little details on some of these to make sure they all get filled in, because it's really easy to skip something. And I don't like to waste my time going back if I don't have to. So I'm going to go in here. And you can see, look at that nice release in there. And there's how well it released on here. So that's really good. I am very happy with that. Now I could rework that piece of foil and place it everywhere else, but you don't want to sit here and watch me do it. So this goes into the scrap bag, and once the scrap bag's filled, it goes into our packing materials bag So oftentimes when we ship product, you will receive little scraps of foil, because it's terrific packing material, and it gives you a chance to maybe see some of the new foils that you might not see in person. So check your packages carefully when they come from us. You never know what's going to be in there. All right, let's get in here. Oh, you all want to know what's on my son said I could wear this. A friend sent it to me. It says, what does it say? Regular mom, cool mom. I'm apparently a cool mom. That's what my son likes to say. And as long as he says it, I'm good with that. I don't want to appoint myself the cool mom. That's kind of weird. All right, so we got a little more over here. Now, this, you notice normally I tell you not to swirl when you scrub. You can do that with these little spots because you will not see any swirl marks. And I'm just going to go check, make sure every opening is filled in. Because there's little tiny ones up here. I want to make sure there's a little foil in them. All right, get a little bit right in there. And if you have other super detailed and you're not loving, how you're getting, grab a toothbrush, scrub with a toothbrush, use whatever means helps you. Clay sculpting tools help you get into little details on these if you need one of those, the little rubber edge ones that look like a chisel or clay. They all work terrific too. Down to the last little bit. Alrighty. So I can see things you all can't on camera. All right, so we have most of it. I think every time I start to pull my hand away, I see another little blank spot. And you don't want to skip your little spots because they are the details that make the final result its best look. To move the ones that I've used out of the way. All right, so this is layer 3 from the Allium stencil, and I want to say this is one of Helen Morris's stencils, so Stencil Library, Stencil Kingdom. I'm kind of drawing a blank right now. If anybody remembers. Okay, so now you see all of those little spots. Let's see if it says on here. No, it just has the number. It doesn't have it. Okay. Got a little bit of fuzz in my mouth. This is layer number 2, and it gets applied. Now, I wasn't a smart girl. I didn't put my registration marks in. So I'm going to go do that right now. Okay, there are 2 little diamonds right up in here. Normally, I would not put anything there, but I'm going to take a little bit of gold because I know what my background's going to be. Now, if I was doing this with paint, I would have slid a piece of a tape under here and just marked it with a pen, but I can't do that, so I just need to make sure that I got my little marks in, and this gold is going to be part of the background, so it'll disappear in the long run. And these little marks on here help you to line up each layer. Now, don't stencil the 3, don't stencil the 2, don't stencil the 1. If you can't remember not to do that, really, seriously, go and put tape over the numbers. And I say this because I've done it. Thought I knew what I was doing, wasn't paying attention. All of a sudden I had numbers all over my wall because I was being lazy. There's layer number 1 down. Let's go up to number 2. placement before, so just shift a little bit. And there we go. Okay, so this is the second layer of the alums, and we are going to go in with lavender, and we're going to build our colors deeper as we go. Stick that there. Now this foil that I'm using, our lavender foil, is not fabric friendly. Do not buy this to use on clothing. How if I turn the scissors the right way? It will not. It'll transfer. It just won't hold up. It'll come off in the laundry. You will not be happy with the result. Now, if you notice, I'm lifting this a little high, and that's because I have board down here that still has adhesive on it, and I don't want to screw it up. So I'm not going to. I put the foil up higher, and then, where did I put my brush? Oh, there it is. First we're going to scrub. And we're going to release this foil all into the openings. We'll pull it off and see what else needs to happen. And we got a pretty good release with that. So I'm just going to take a little bit of a smaller piece and go back in and get all the little dots, because obviously they don't want to be gotten easily with the bigger tools. And you can take anything to get it. You can use your fingernail like I'm doing right now. It works just fine. Or, hang on a sec. We can, let's see, I'm right here. Just have to grab my pen. You can use a little brush like this, or you can use a toothbrush. Yeah, you did something last night and you should have filmed it. Yes, you should have. All right, so I'm just taking this and I'm kind of going in all the little spots. And I know you get to see the back of me. I'm trying to keep more of the, less of me and more of the board, but you know, I got to reach somewhere. Some of these that didn't get quite as good release, and I just rub it with my finger because the foil adhesive is that good and the release is that good. Let's see. Obviously missed some spots over on this side, so it's just going to take a moment or two, and you guys get to watch me. I know, that's so exciting, watching me fix what I missed. But I promise the result is worth it. I know there's a big news conference going on in about 5 or 6 minutes, so I'll post this to the page. If you all want to watch the news conference, I completely understand. I will not be offended. All right, I'm getting there. Just a, you know, none of this is super speedy, especially when you're dealing with a lot of little details. You gotta take the time to get them in. How this is coming out. I'm very pleased. I know it's not that exciting to you because you all can't see what I see as easily, because my back is to the camera. Just put in some little dots, and they aren't easy to get into. If you need to, you just take the foil, crunch it up, and smush it in. And yes, that works. It sounds like a funny idea, but it actually really works, especially with these thinner foils like I'm working with today. It just goes. You just got to move the piece around a little bit and get fresh foil. Getting there. I know it may look to some of you like I'm going over the same spots again and again, but the fact is there's a lot of them, and sometimes it just takes a minute to get them all. I may be bringing on some guest finishers to do some lives with our products. So anybody who's a big fan of our products and uses them regularly, who's interested in doing a live on our page, absolutely feel free to let me know, send me a message. We'd love to see more smiling faces on our page. All right, so I got all that in. At least one good spot, and it's a little bigger, and I don't want to miss it, because it'll really show if I miss it. There we go. So now I'm going to take this down, and you can see there was foil adhesive even on the tape, because I just rolled it all the heck on there. All right, come on. I got to lift this with the edge of the scissor because there's so much adhesive on the tape that I don't have a free edge. All right, so now you see the pattern starting to develop. And again, great looking as it is. We're going to go to the next layer. So let's find that. Make sure I've got it facing. This is layer number 1. So we did 3, we did 2, now we're doing 1. This is going to end up looking kind of psychedelic 60s, I think. So now I have to release over the areas that I didn't release before. So what I'm going to do is up to about, well, I think I'm going to have to cut it out and do it by hand first, because I want the stem to be green, but I need the rest of the background of the flowers to be purple. So just taking a little bit of our peridot green, and as you can see, I'm really taking a little bit, and I'm coming up here, and I'm gonna feel my way through this, because I don't want to lose the flower, but I want to make sure my stem is green. So now I've taken care of that. And this thing here, this opening allows me to extend my stem, which I will need to do once we lift this off of the top part. Now this is our beautiful new grape soda foil, so we're going to use that one today. All right. Put this all over this. I'm still being careful because, again, I have exposed edge here, but not really over here. So I have to be careful how I lay my foil on to make sure I don't release purple in any place I don't want it. And feeling with my fingers to make sure I got the entire stencil. Oh wow, that purple is so gorgeous. And if I wanted to, I could just lay this over more adhesive. Excuse me, stumping in my mouth. I could just lay this over more adhesive and it would leave the purple as a background to the pattern that I have released here. And if you're having a hard time seeing it, Look at that. I could just lay that over foil adhesive and get that pattern itself. So I'm going to set that aside. Maybe I'll do that later, maybe I won't. Who knows? Well, I can't set that aside. Well, I actually can. I need a little more purple, but a smaller piece than I had. So let's release that in that area. Have a little more here, a little more there. Going in and checking the little details, making sure I got up high. There's always some place that I miss, and then I take the stencil off, and then I have to go through the whole rigmarole of moving it around and stuff, and that annoys me. Okay, this is looking very 60s flower power, like my first foil's name. I'm loving it though, it's fun. So let's take this out, and now you can see the entire alum released. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece right here, carry it all the way down to the bottom of my board. Take the rest of that little piece of peridot foil. So I've got my flower, which is gorgeous, but this whole background has still got foil adhesive on it. So I now have to create a background, but I didn't want to lose my flower. So you're literally doing everything in reverse. My background is the last thing I'm going to put on. And I think this is a Wallovers tile pattern that comes from Cynthia Davis. I've had it on my rack for a while, haven't used it for anything. So now I need to create a background. And I have two options. I can go, I picked my colors, and I can either go holographic gold tile using the tie-dye for, I'm not the tie-dye, the camo print for the grout lines, or I can go the other way. And I think really, what do y'all think? This for the tiles or this for the tiles? I know you all are watching, I see you there. Somebody give me some ideas here. The first one that comes up is what I'm gonna do. So holographic gold, silver camo. What do y'all think? Okay, Bobby came in first. It's gonna be gold. This could be very blinding, very disco, because this is a holographic gold. Taking this and laying it over here. Start from this edge over, smoothing it obviously, going in with my hand, and then I'm going to take my scrubber and where it's not grabbing here, that's the pattern underneath. Oh, that's very cool. Bobby, you had a great idea. I went with it. And if you notice when I'm doing this, I am never going on big pieces right up to my edge. That's so I don't have a harsh line. It's way easier to seam and blend, even in patterns, if you don't use all the way to the very edge on your application. Not saying don't use the edge of the foil, I'm saying don't use it, don't scrub it down flat. You can use that edge to fill in little blank spots and stuff. All right, and you see I'm overlapping where I applied before. later on this week, we will have lots more lives. I'm going to be working on a table that I have sitting back behind me that is covered in stripper. I hate stripping furniture. It's why I don't. It's one of the few things with painting furniture that I really, really detest. Because it's messy and it smells. But we'll be working on that this week. We'll be working on a bunch of stuff. Oh, yes. One little spot where I actually pulled the... I have one spot where the adhesive, I didn't apply it. So that it didn't release there, but that's the only place that it's not going to release on this whole thing. This will teach you how good your application skills are, because if there's no adhesive, you can't release the foil. So there are spots that if I was sloppy in my rolling on, it will show in the final one, the final look. I just got to get these little spots in here. I think that's all of it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. So I got it all. And look how it leaves that great tile background. Now understand what you see, I can see it here on my camera, that this looks extremely rainbow. In person, it does not. That holographic color is very, very, very subtle. It just doesn't look that way on camera. It wants to pick up like a rainbow on it. Oh, thank you, Carol. And then what we still have these openings in here that still have adhesive on them. So you either have to use mica powder to fill it in, you can use glitter to fill it in. If you're on a vertical surface, that might not be the most practical. So we're just going to use a little of this to create the grout lines for our tiles. I'm going to try this down here and see if I actually like it before I commit to it too hard. Yeah, actually, that's really cool. Now this is the final step before, obviously, if you're doing it on anything, you have to top coat it because the foil adhesive will still have breaks in it. My favorite tack, which is backfill anything that's sticky with glitter. I mean, that's cool. That's very, very cool. And you can see on here how nicely it released all around that pattern. It's a little harder right now with this kind of texture pattern to see where the empty spots are as I try to use a little more of it. Oh yeah, that's good. Need some more of this so I can finish this off. I'll untape it. And then I'll look to see if I missed any of your questions. And we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. So I'm going back down here. Obviously, I took a much bigger piece than I probably needed for what's left, but that's okay. I need to make sure everything's covered. I don't need to worry about whether or not I'm conserving my foil at this point. That's good. It's very funny because now, and you'll see this when I do the close-up, this pattern, this camo pattern released like this, and obviously I'm not worrying about my direction because it's going in small spaces to fill in background. It almost looks like an animal print on here. Really kind of cool that way. Right, so this is painting murals with foil you've seen me do it at a smaller scale. Now you're kind of getting the idea of doing it on a bigger scale. I have done techniques like this in entire rooms. And while it sounds painful, it's really actually very easy because you're only rolling on a paint or a paint product to get your base color and your adhesive on. After that, it's all dry and you're just playing with the foils. It's more about placement and everything. So it's really nice, and it's on a wall in a house, it's probably one of the lesser invasive finishes that you could do. So let's put this up close so you can see all those colors in there. Look how vibrant that is. Oh, I love this. What size is that? It's the Lavender Foil adhesive. That is the product I recommend. I use it almost daily. I think this is the best foil adhesive on the market. So here we go. Look at that. Now that I'm kind of moving it, you can see that the gold isn't quite as when I do this, it picks up the light and it goes rainbow. And it doesn't do that in the light in real time. It just does it because the way the camera reads it. But I'm really, really loving that. So I'm very pleased with how that came out. And we had a fun live today doing painting with foils. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with me, spending part of your free time to watch what I do. I appreciate it. All the products here will be listed at the top of the thread once I've posted the video. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. I will go back through all the feed. I will answer every question if I didn't answer speaking. Oh, can I post the name, the size, and where to get it, please? Okay, well, I will post it. It will be linked. You will be able to find it immediately. But again, Lavender Foil adhesive, we carry it here at Artistic Paint. I'm not Artistic Painting Studio. That's Jennifer's studio. I know you all know me. This menopause memory crap is killing me. I have no memory. I mix everything up in words. I can do paint fine, but I cannot remember the name of anything anymore. And that's starting to happen. I can't even remember the name of my husband and my son, which is probably not bad. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. Stay well, stay safe. We miss you. We miss seeing you in person, but we are going to be here every day this week doing lives to keep us here helping you out with whatever you need. If you have suggestions for lives, absolutely send me a private message, post a suggestion here. I am always open to ideas. If I carry it and I can do it, I will do a live on it. All right, everybody, have a great one. Talk to you later. Bye.